NEXIM is keen because we look at entertainment as a key, growth area that has very high employment and foreign exchange generation and potentials. And you know that the people that are involved in this industry are mostly the youths, who form the pillars of the society. And again, looking at entertainment, Nollywood has come to be #1 in the world in terms of the number of films produced. And they are #3 in terms of revenue generation. So looking at all these indices, it is an area that NEXIM is keenly interested in intervening in.
Much as the popularity of the industry makes it worth exploring, it however faces the challenges of piracy. Estimates indicate that for every single copy of film sold legitimately, there are 5 to 10 copies sold by pirates. The industry also faces the challenge of poor production standards, poor marketing and distribution linkages. That is why the entertainment industry requires all the governmental assistance it can get. Because bolstering the creative industry can serve as a driving force for economic growth. In 2008, the United Nations Conference on Trade and Development, UNCTAD, recognized the creative industry to be a key contributor to economic growth, employment generation, and trade within countries. The industry have indeed emerged as one of the world's most dynamic economic sectors. According to UNCTAD, the international trade in creative goods and services nearly doubled in a decade, from $234.8 million to $445.2 million between 1995 and 2005. No wonder the United Nations urged developing nations like Nigeria to encourage the development of creative industries within their communities through policy making, regulatory oversight, and financial support. In 2005, Africa accounted for only 1% of world trade in the creative industry, while the European counterpart expanded at a rate of 12% more than their overall economy. The federal government of Nigeria, through the Nigerian Export-Import Bank, sees the sector as an untapped opportunity for economic growth.
Well, the challenges that we have here is how do we create or develop in a very creative manner financial products that can make the practitioners have easy access to funding. Hitherto they were being funded by other friends or some marketers and whatever. So what are those creative ways that we can do so that we can let these people have access, to funding, using something like intellectual property, but that it has not yet been monetized. So it is a challenge to the filmmakers, the musicians, to be able to access this fund, in a very smooth way. So we are trying to see how we can make it easy for them, to access the fund.
Therefore, NEXIM in this regard have not only developed an industry blueprint and guidelines, but it is collaborating with other agencies such as the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, the World Bank, the Nigerian Film and Video Censors Board, the Nigerian Film Corporation, the Nigerian Copyright Commission, and India NEXIM in order to harness the Nigerian entertainment industry for formal export to the global audience. This partnership, especially with India NEXIM, hopes to mirror the Indian experience through the creation of a formal import industry so that the Nigerian economy can use the profit accruable from the exportation of the industry to improve other sectors of the Nigerian economy.
When Mr. President made that announcement, we had some challenges. So the first thing that we did was try and look at a sister institution that is doing a similar thing. How are they be able to develop some kind of financial products that they are now supporting the Bollywood, and what kind of lessons do we have to learn from them? And it was very successful. We look at all the value chain of the entertainment industry. We look at the capacity building. We look at the distribution and the exhibition facilities that they have, as well as the production and the post-production facilities.
To further unlock the tremendous potentials of the industry, Mr. President recently announced a federal government investment of $200 million as a direct intervention lifeline for the exclusive purpose of supporting and developing the industry.
The role of NEXIM is basically facilitating, the mandate of Mr. President initiative. We expect that whoever is going to enjoy this money, not just the intervention fund, but whoever wants to come to NEXIM, to be able to access a facility from us, it must be a registered entity. It must be registered. And we have drawn up the operating guidelines, which you can find on our website. And we have looked at all the sectors that will be able to access this money. We are looking at the film, we are looking at the music, we're looking at the TVs, we're looking at the radio, and then we are looking at building infrastructural platforms. All these are the areas that we are looking at. But the most important thing is that you must be a registered entity. And then all the other documentation, will follow.
This is indeed a very good beginning. As Nigeria seeks to diversify the revenue base, it is imperative, according to Mr. President, to think outside the box. With the federal government's Entertainment Intervention Fund, Nigeria is set to become Africa's entertainment capital.
I see the future to be very bright. I've seen that we'll be able to deepen the content. We'll be able to have more exhibition and distribution, infrastructure, especially the exhibition. Because right now, that we're having problems of piracy. But as soon as you are able to deepen both the content, and then you have exhibition centers where if a film is produced and is going to be shown on the cinema, for some time, it becomes difficult for it to be pirated. Maybe you still show it for about 12 months, or 18 months, as the case may be, before you burn it into CDs and then, DVDs. And I see that if that is done, we are going to have, more revenue generated for the industry. More jobs will be created. We'll be able to garner in a lot of foreign exchange for the country.
The future of the entertainment industry looks very bright and assured. With this fund, every producer, whether film or music, every actor, every fashion designer, every modeling agent, artist, and television producer will have the opportunity to access cheap long-term funds to grow their craft, provide jobs, and grow their economy in line with Mr. President's transformational agenda.